It was a literal stroke of luck that John Kelly arrived at St. Luke's on a cold January morning in 2004.
The day that John's stroke occurred, he had been scheduled to be in Ethiopia and they'd canceled the trip. He was telling me about this headache that he had as we're sitting there on the bed getting dressed.
I bent over to put my socks on and just kept right on going. I went head first onto the carpet.
It was like a flip of a switch. Instantly, he was paralyzed on one side.
And I just kept yelling, just put my shoes and socks on, I gotta get to work. And she said, I'm gonna call 911. I says, no, you don't need that. Just get my shoes and socks on, I'll be fine. She says, no, I'm calling the ambulance.
I called 911 immediately and told them that he'd had a stroke, I needed help, quick.
When I first saw John, I thought he had an acute stroke. He basically couldn't move his left side at all and had no idea what was going on the left side of his space.
Next thing I remember is I'm laying there and they're asking me to move my fingers and toes and my hands, and I was unable to move it on my left side at all. That's the first time I realized I was paralyzed on my left side. I had absolutely no concept of what was happening to me.
He did have a clot in the critical part of the brain. We initially gave him a clot-busting agent called TPA. When it was noted that the intravenous clot-busting agent was ineffective, I decided to call in the stroke team, and that included the radiology techs and their radiologist. An extraction device called the concentric device was used in that situation.
All I can say is like someone turned on a light in a room. I had no movement at all, then all of a sudden I had complete movement and coordination with my arm.
After giving the intra-arterial clot buster and using this clot extraction device, there was good blood flow through that critical part of the brain.
To me, it was like a miracle. You know, again, I didn't understand what was happening or why. I just knew all of a sudden my body parts worked again, and I was certainly grateful.
In my opinion, if he did not get acute intervention for stroke, he would be severely impaired. I don't think he would have had a normal lifestyle. I don't think he would be able to work again, and I would think that he would have long-term disability from his stroke. In a stroke of his nature, it is not even uncommon that people don't even survive.
When this happened, we were at the right place, right time, with the right people, and it saved his life.
I don't drink, don't smoke, I wasn't overweight, I exercised regularly, I had low blood pressure, low cholesterol, so I didn't seem to have any of the normal warning signs of stroke.
In John's situation, it was discovered that he had a condition called atrial fibrillation, which is an irregular heartbeat that can lead to further strokes and problems. So following his discharge, he was placed on a medicine called Coumadin, which was a blood thinner for secondary stroke prevention. Following his stroke, he did marvelous. He basically was able to do pretty much everything he did prior to his stroke.
And now he's 100%. You would not know that he had a stroke today.
I credit St. Luke's with not only saving my life physically, but my lifestyle, where I'm able to do everything I want to do.
I would say that if you have someone that needs care for a stroke, then they need to be at St. Luke's.
For all those who cared for me, I would like to say thank you very much. That you've certainly affected my life.